are the teams that win those CTFs going to win the other games? I'm not quite sure. A lot of times you see that kind of correlation where it's like, oh, well, they're a good Strongholds team.
Yep.
And, it's got 2 Strongholds in this best of 5. Let's give them the advantage. Or on the other hand, it's like, oh, they're a great CTF team. Well, there's 3 CTFs in this actual series here. So whoever ends up being the strong CTF team, they just got to win those and then win one more game on top of that, and they're going to be the champions. I believe throughout this series, too, in best of 7s, there are 3 Slayers, right? Or
Yes.
is it just 2 Slayers?
That'll be 3 Slayers.
3
the best of
Slayers.
7.
So yeah, we
Game
have
2,
3,
5, and 7.
We have 3 CTFs. Wait, that doesn't add up. So there has to be 2 CTFs then. We got 7
I would
games coming up here.
assume 3 Slayers, and it's gonna most likely be 2 CTFs and 2 Strongholds.
Okay. So we have CTF Truth coming up. Then what was the other CTF? Coliseum?
I did not recall what the other CTF was, but
I do know Coliseum's popping up.
I know
But either
Empire
way,
Strongholds is the other Strongholds. in this one, at
That's
least.
true. We do know that. So we're not losing all of our marbles, just half of them. Empire Strongholds is the second one. Write it down in your memory banks. But we're here on Plaza. Plaza Stronghold, Str8 Rippin lost that to Rockblock. We'll see if they're going to be able to bounce back from that loss here against Era.
Yeah, and I consider clearly Era a much stronger team than Rockblock, so Str8 Rippin can get off to a rough start here if they do not change something from their previous game, because the one they did lose against Rockblock, they outslayed by, what, like 15 or 20 kills or something like that as well.
Never been a big fan of sending players into Yard, and you're kind of seeing why right now. You take yourself out of the game. They send 2 players to Yard on the Str8 Rippin side, and you give up pretty much all map control when that happens. So there it is, Yard taken, bottom middle taken. Good luck getting the nest, most likely going to be able to, but now map control heavily in favor of Era.
Yeah, heavily in favor of Era. So one thing that was good about Era getting that Yard control is now the kind of pressures on their side. They seem to like those unorthodox setups where they get like that far stronghold, whether it happens to be BR base on Rig or it happens to be Yard here on Plaza. But that is a trip cap right off the bat for Era. Not exactly right off the bat, 50 seconds in, but whole point being is they are going to rack up some precious points here early on.
That's what happens again when you send the 2 people into Yard. There's really no reason to do that. Secure bottom middle, secure the nest, leave that thing for other players. There's a camouflage on the map that you have to worry about, but a minute and 10 seconds into this game and already a 25-point lead here for Era, coming out hot in the bracket reset.
Yeah, that's a scary situation to be in if you're Str8 Rippin, because right now it's already tough enough to break through setups here on Plaza, but already having that time pressure be put on you right off the bat is just really tough. Like in most cases, had they just stopped the bleeding immediately, like this would be like a 20-point game or something like that. They would only be about 15 to 20 or something, but because of that great trip cap from Era, they put on the pressure early.
Fortunately for Str8, they're going to be able to retake a setup here and now get some sort of control. Big shots right there from Ace onto Musa. Crispy down bottom towards the lift. Now 1 player alive, and it looks like a triple cap going to go on over to Str8 Rippin. They should be able to capture this bottom middle. There's going to be players popping up over towards the loop. They have some people spread out over towards the other side as well. And Str8 Rippin giving Era a little bit of taste of their own medicine. How long can they hold this? Not sure, but Ace has to stay alive, that's for sure.
Yeah, Era stopping the bleeding right away, though, getting control of that Yard. Now I want to see what they decide to do from here. Commonly getting 2 kills on Musa and Kratos, so I like this play from Ace, trying to capitalize that and go for Yard. I'm a little hesitant as to, I agree with helping your teammates and pushing over towards top center there, but that should have been your sign where it's like, all right, 2 down, let's just get this 3rd cap.
Ooh, Ace not able to hit the jumps right there, and now it's going to be Yard going on over, it looks like, 2 Era, and while this is happening, they're taking another stronghold, but maybe Jay missing on the shotgun, at least connecting there with the stick, but Str8 on the prowl, making his move on to Commonly, has another player on over towards the posters. That's going to be Ace, has no idea that the flank is there, and nice job by Str8 picking up a couple of kills and securing some good map control from Era.
Yeah, Musa and Kratos, the last 2 alive, though, so what seemed to be a good push there from Era, getting quite a few kills. I'm not sure how both Neptune and Str8 were taken out. Clearly, they did not have as much control of the map as they needed, so Musa going to see what he can do to make some plays happen, because we've seen it from him earlier. There's plenty of times where he was like the last one alive in that Check 6 series, and he would pull off some ridiculous like ninja-like play on Nated.
Nest looks like he's going to go on over to Str8 Rippin, but bottom center and Yard currently controlled by Era. Great nade there, going to take Musa down to no shields, but going to have to follow it up with some more damage. Musa, great job getting his recharge to come back in calmly. The melee is going to land for both players. To Noxide, he's going to get an assassination there onto Neptune, grabbing the shotgun. Last player alive, going to be Str8 down towards the loop area. Actually, that's going to be Kratos. So Kratos giving his spawns to his team over there was Str8. So Str8 trapped on over towards the U-turn. The Noxide going to slow play it over towards the nest, but honestly, not much time for slow playing because there is plenty of time being racked up by Era.
And one of those troubles is like, you should slow play or try to bait like a killer like that around the corner. And oh man, that was rough there to watch. But whole point being is you should slow play or bait a situation around that, like around the corner, when you're down in numbers or when you know you have them isolated somewhere. However, when you're holding the center of the map here, when you're trying to hold bomb center / nest, you want to be aggressive. You want to, especially as one of the further people back, you want to be up at snipe 4. You want to be out in the open at nest, dealing damage so that your teammates that are further up and closer can fight weaker players. You shouldn't be the furthest one back hiding.
Baby J doing a little dance there with Neptune. Couldn't tell if that was a slow dance or a fast dance, but either way, Neptune, he's going to get out of there with his life and come around the corner, landing the green gun shots, give him the EMP assist, distraction metal popping up as well. 3 dead, Denoxide the last guy alive. Shotgun going on the hands of Neptune, and a little bit worried for Str8 here because they only have 2 more pushes. And by the looks of it, Era's pushing for that triple cap, so maybe only 1 more push.
Yeah, and Neptune's just playing out of this world, if you know what I mean, Tom.
I see what you did there, Dave.
Yeah. I've been working on that one for a while. But back on to Ace, who's pushing out from Yard, and this is going to be some really tough work for Str8 Rippin because right now they've had, a good 5 minutes or so to kind of figure this out. Like, you can chalk up 1 or 2 bad pushes to, all right, we had unfortunate execution or something got bad off the start. But when you get to like this 6-minute mark in the game and you're down like 90-30, you can't really just say they got a lucky start or one bad execution happens.
They're getting out-moved right now on the map. It's just complete, utter domination everywhere you look. Era, ever since the get-go, they've been constantly just putting up pressure and never slowing down. Really, the only one that I've seen kind of putting up a solid fight on the Str8 Rippin side has been Commonly. Commonly's been in the places at the right time, except not being able to hit that jump right there. He's going to have to get towards bottom center pretty much immediately. Now they need to send multiple bodies in there. Str8 Rippin, they've done it before. They've taken this with 99 seconds, but that player jumping up and down is going to be able to buy more than enough time. Str8 right there, doing the right thing. 99 points, just go in there, contest, make sure that nobody can go and capture that from Str8 Rippin. Even if there is 3 people in there for Str8, it only takes 1 to contest on the side of Era. Very solid start, very big statement coming out from Era, 100-28.
Yeah, I'm looking at the slays right here. It looks like it was just +1 in favor of Era. So outslaying by 1 kill and winning by 72 points. That's a massive margin.
It sure was, and a lot of that having to do with the initial triple cap. Then again, Str8 Rippin not able to maintain their setups very well. It was a great job of, again, just rotating around from Era. Every time it seemed like Str8 Rippin was going to go do something around the map, Era met it right in the middle or just kind of maneuvered around. So now Truthslayer coming up, game number 2. Era up 1-0 in this series. This is what they needed to do. Again, towards the tail end of the previous series, that's when they really started to pick it up. Game number 2 was close. They won game number 4. Game number 5 was fairly close as well, but it looks like game number 1 is the first dominant win that they've had against Str8 since the earlier parts of today when they faced off in the semifinals. Yeah,
and I'm not sure if it's just that small break or kind of like that kick in the butt for someone like Era to just get it together finally. Like, I'm not sure if it's also even just game mode, but I find that hard to believe that's just game mode right there. Clearly, they outplayed Str8 Rippin, but across the board, they were doing, it feels like, nearly everything right. Just push in together, challenging the fights they should have challenged, winning all their engagements. So, Era just across the board looking really strong for the second best of 7.
Truthslayer is what we're about to watch right now, and I agree. They're looking extremely strong, and you saw great individual performances, but what I was more impressed with was the buddy system that they were using, and you saw so often 2 guys being with one another, 2 guys with one another on the other side, and even if you're not aiming for that and you're not saying, hey guys, let's try to stick in duos here, it's a lot harder to do when you actually, it's a lot easier said than done, but you seem like they were just sticking together. And that's something that they weren't doing in the previous series, especially in objective games where Str8 Rippin would kill the flag guy and then no one's around and you just hear crickets in terms of who's going to be able to run this next flag. Era is going to have to do the same exact thing. They're going to have to use that small talk to make sure that they have each other's backs, especially in a map like Truth Slayer.
Yeah, and besides the buddy system, also winning those buddy battles. Like right off the bat, there was a 2-on-2 situation in Yard, and both members of Era got both the kills, and I believe they both stayed alive as they got that capture. So all that's incredibly important. So Straight Stick right off the bat, as I'm seeing in the kill feed, gets a perfect kill on Ace. Neptune taken out commonly. That's going to be Denoxide falling out. 3 down right off the bat for Str8 Rippin. Air came out to play.
Yeah, and that's going to be 4 dead as all 4 members of Str8 Rippin dropping individually. Now coming off the spawn, having to figure out exactly what they want to do. Denoxide, he's going to get that opening kill right there onto Kratos. Looks like Ace is going to answer onto Straight Stick. So it could have ended up being a very horrible turn of events. Doesn't seem to be that bad for Str8 Rippin when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive, especially the times when they should be kind of on the back foot, when it should be much tougher to get the kills. They're able to somehow piece that together. It just seemed like off the start, though, or a really rough start, especially when someone gets perfect. And we also saw, I believe, in the kill feed, it was Neptune getting a grenade kill. So sometimes there's always a story behind a grenade kill.
There is, but Denoxide is extremely aggressive over here towards Kratos. Interesting to see him challenge that one. Wow, that's going to count. Ace gets traded out. Commonly is going to get the kill overall onto that. Musa not able to get the trade onto Commonly up towards the street, but you can see Commonly just dipping and diving, making sure he can do whatever he can to stay alive since he was no shields over towards the pink side. 1 minute and 20 seconds of this one. We're all tied up 7-7. When you look at it for Str8 Rippin, that's pretty solid for them considering they were down 4-0 and could have been spawn trapped off of this initial get-go here. Musa flying in with the grenade, has some help coming in. Kratos flying up towards the street, Commonly going to respond onto that one. They're looking for Musa, who's still alive somewhere. It looks like they can't find exactly where and locate him, but 2 players over towards the blue side, 1 player over towards P3, and Commonly's in a great spot to lay down some fire with this camo popping up in about 20 seconds.
Yeah, and that buddy battle, once again, at least it was a trade 1-for-1 there, but it almost looked pretty bad for Str8 Rippin for a moment if they didn't get that grenade kill, because that would not have been, it would have been another 1-0 situation where Era gets away with a kill, and what should have been a fair or direct fight, a 2-on-2. But I think I just saw a team kill medal right there.
Yeah,
where everyone just
shot that guy once, and then I guess everybody else shot him once as well.
That person had to have been like the quickest death ever. That had to have felt not great at all, as they just got shot by 4 different players across the map too, because it's not one of those times where you're getting spawn killed, or it's not a time where all your teammates are dead and you're getting finished off as one of the last people. It's like, that was a standoff situation. Everyone happened to be looking over in that direction.
You know what we call that?
What do we call it?
We call that a melt. We call that a melt. What do you call it, Dave?
It's a melt for sure.
It's a melt.
It's a melt, or it's a warm-up game with exit wounds and on mid-chip.
Oh, ouch.
For those that don't get this reference, this is back in the Halo 2 days. We used to, this top team, exit wounds, they were consistently placed in like 4th through 6th, I would say, at majority of events. But in warm-up games, they would constantly call out, and it's like, come on, man, like we're just doing like mid-ship free-for-all. Like, you can't, like, you're calling me out where I'm pink 2 or top middle, because there's just times you get shot from like 2 or 3 different angles. Like, are you kidding me? Who calls out in a warm-up game?
Who teams up in warm-up games? Free-for-alls, exit wounds, that's it. Big flank coming in from Commonly, and it's going to be multiple kills going on over to Str8 Rippin. 3 kills right there. Kratos just came off the spawn. Musa, he's going to be popping up here and in about 10 seconds because he just died. But now you do have a good flank coming in again from Commonly, and they're very aggressive on the Str8 Rippin side right now. They don't seem to be flustered from the previous game. They don't seem to be flustered from that start, but either is Kratos with those shots. 8 kills to make up here. Truth, it's fairly difficult to do. Typically the team that gets ahead, you see a lot of trades happening over and over again. Now you're going to see 2 kills going on over to Str8. So every time that you're Era and you want to push this one in, you want to make it into that single digits area. It's been a long day, guys.
It has been a long day, but regardless, you make a good point. It's still not out of reach as of yet, but it's getting kind of scary because Truth especially is kind of one of those games where when it comes to Team Slayer, you aren't really looking at a situation like, all right, how do we get 6 kills without any deaths? It's more like, all right, how do we get the best possible trades? Like, anytime you can kill all 4 of the opposing team, you kind of expect 1 or 2 people are going to get a shot going through the door. So as you try to collapse in on bases, it's just kind of fair trades where it's like, all right, I'll take, we kill all 4 of them, but we lose 1 or 2 of us. Like, those are kind of the trades that generally happen on something like Truth.
Musa popping out, no shields. Str8 Rippin responding to that one immediately. Camouflage still there. Dave, maybe that's what you need. A late camouflage grab around that 17-19 mark. Straight Stick does drop. I don't believe he was the camo guy, though.
We will see who was camo.
That's something. The Neptune with this one picking up a kill. It has to happen now, though. 32-20 with the camouflage, a fresh camouflage. He has to do damage with this one if you're Neptune.
Yeah, and I don't know if I like this route. I would have loved to see the kind of typical bomb center to top center sort of thing. This could go very well or bad. And I mean, right there, melee trade is bad if you're camo. In most cases, when you get somebody that's so weak,
your shields.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your shields like that, and especially when you have someone that's that weak, you just have to have discipline just to get the right spacing. Just back it up enough where it's okay to take a couple shots to your body. Like, unless you're going up for that melee and a finish before they realize it, in most cases you just want to go for that pistol fight and take a couple body shots, but never the melee trade.
Not at all. Here we go with Neptune still trying to put down some more damage as he rotates on over towards the top center area. I like this play sitting over towards top car, but they're going to have to string together again some more kills. 8 kills. We've seen them here before. They have to go and bring this from 8 down to 4, which means they're going to have to wipe Str8 Rippin and then continue to go and not trade kills. And there it already started. There's a trade right there. Ace for Neptune's life. Str8 weak, waiting for his shields to come back up. Musa flying in as well. 2 members from Str8 Rippin fairly weak, but Musa's weak as well. Str8 shields just came back, so now the charge is going to happen. Camouflage, remember, Dave, very late. 5:19 around that area is when it was picked up, but here's the opportunity. 2 players charge up towards the pink side, and that's what Str8 Rippin's doing really well, Dave. I mean, it's very easy for them to be in that position and all turtle inside the base. You have to be confident enough that if you charge out the pink side, that your teammates are going to be taking the angles that you can go up to that street and not have to worry about that pre-grenade of that player waiting inside P2.
Yeah, that's absolutely, you got to have that sort of trust and faith if you're going to consistently be able to take over pink. And when you're going in blind like that, it's a much more difficult situation. Look at those grenades from Baby J. Melee / plasma grenade kill. And just the kill feed, despite Baby J's great performance there, all going in favor of Era as they get all 4 members down Str8. This is their opportunity. They need to put some sort of pressure on Str8 right away because right now, if they want to have any chance of closing that 9-kill gap, they need to put it on right away. They can't just let Str8 organize a push and push out at their own leisure.
But this is what I was talking about, Dave. Instead of turtling, which again a lot of teams are going to do, they push. And Kratos, he got traded out down towards car 1. Baby J, that's another trade coming in. But look at that. That was just a full trade across the board. And Str8 Rippin, that's all they're looking for at this point. And that's what makes Truth Slayer so difficult to come back from once you are down. Because unless you are going in there and playing extremely aggressive and flawless rotations and clearing out the spawns, then you're not going to be able to build onto that big lead. And that's what you're seeing right now is you get in within 7-8 kills, boom, it goes back up to 10, it goes back up to 11. You bring it back down to single digits, but yet they're only 3 kills away. And nothing, throughout this entire Truth Slayer game has shown me that Str8 Rippin is going to refuse to go and not try to trade kills and just turtle inside the base.
Yep. And if Air wanted to have any chance, they had to just continue to put that pressure on. Like, despite Str8 Rippin not fully turtling, when you're going to make some sort of comeback of like 10 kills or greater, especially towards the end of the game, you just have to put pressure on instantly. I think of one of these times when I was like 2005 St. Louis against Carbon. They were ahead of us by like 10 or 12 kills or something like that in Beaver Creek Team Slayer. This is game 11. And we were losing. We were kind of turtling. And I said, if we're going to lose, let's at least lose pushing out, being aggressive, lose on our own terms, not getting picked off one by one. And we made a miraculous comeback.
You're going to say, and we lost.
But it would have been cool if we won, man.
Anyway, big stats coming out from Comedy. Musa with a slow game there, but a decent amount of assists. Only 1 assist coming out from Str8. But that's been kind of the weird thing when you go and you look at the stats is tons of assists coming out from Str8. And it's actually insane to look at. Between Denoxide and Ace, they had 27. You go and you throw Comedy in there for 34. That's 45 assists coming out for the team overall. I mean, that's 90% of their kills assisted as Ace is getting ready to ready up. And once we do, we're going to start off Coliseum CTF, which is game number 3. Empire Strongholds to follow, Rig Slayer after that. We're not sure if we're going to see Truth CTF or Regret Slayer quite yet. But if it seems like the teams are trading back and forth as they have been, then we're most likely due for a game 6 or a game number 7.
It'd be pretty epic if we go, Legendary Cup number 4, game number 7. Like, we all want to see it so badly.
I mean, it's bound to happen eventually. We've gotten pretty far. We've pushed to the reset now 2 weeks in a row. We've seen some game 5s over and over again from week to week, but nothing. Let's see here. Let me switch on over.
They got to allow observers first,
Yeah,
and then we will
observers.
switch on over to spec. But yeah, we've gotten so many great matches throughout these legendary cups, and yeah, for a moment, I think we got to say a quick thanks to Millennial and the producing crew that we have here. They've done such an incredible job week to week, just making the show look good, trying to make us look good.
Whoever's running league ops, props to that person because they have to sit through Saturday and Sunday of the league operations, which when you're dealing with tons of players, hundreds of players coming in there, and it's probably like one guy dealing with all of that. That has to be a very tough weekend. To deal with. That's
long
for sure.
weekend.
And shout out to the players because out of anybody, they got the toughest job because we will switch as soon as they allow us to, man. Yeah, that's not us. That's red. So, anyway, I lost what I was saying.
Yeah, no, whole point being is just all these players have put in so many times throughout these weekends to play, and like you said, like league ops, just helping make this such a success. And I think it's a big step forward for what I would like to see Halo kind of esports grow into and kind of build its grassroots again, because there has to be good opportunities like this, especially like online opportunities like this for amateur and up-and-coming teams, and something for them to look forward to on a weekly or monthly basis to compete in. So huge thank you to Millennial and, like I said, the crew that makes this possible.
No doubt about it, guys. Truth Slayer was wrapped up. We move into game number 3 now. So tied up 1-1, virtually best of 5 now, just like your normal typical series. If you are just joining us, this is the bracket reset also. So Str8 Rippin came through. They won against Era 4-1, but keep in mind that Era beat them earlier in the day 3-1. So all in all, these guys are exactly even in the amount of games that they played now that we get to this best of 5.
Yeah, that's a little mind-blowing. Oh, my God, yeah. Is it actually even right now? Or is it Str8 Rippin up by one game?
Oh, they're up 1 game.
Str8 Rippin's up 1 game,
because they won last game.
Yep. But either way, these teams neck and neck, clearly going on different sprees of winning games. I'm not sure exactly how the first series panned out, but I'm assuming it was like Era taking 2, losing 1, and winning 1 or something along those lines. I'm not sure if it was like a 1-3 situation, like a full sweep, but whole point being is some of these teams can get on streaks, and it's no surprise when you see some of these players get on fire. It's really tough to stop. I was most impressed, I would say, during that last game. One of those turnaround 5 shots from Kratos, I believe it was commonly, was just flying over towards car sides. Like, it's a lot different when you 5-shot somebody as you like are zoomed in around a spot like at Pink Tower or going into a base. But when someone comes flying out of nowhere and you hit that perfect, it's just pure skill and reaction.
Yeah, a lot of these players are shooting out of their minds right now. We haven't really seen many missed sniper shots. Pretty clean rockets. I mean, sometimes you'll see some sloppy rockets being shot or some crazy rockets across the map. Pistol shots are all fairly clean. All the up-close battles are fairly clean. Really the only, I guess you can say, criticism or critique that I would have would, again, be a little bit slow on the call-outs for Era right now. I feel like, again, people are wiggling around a little bit more than they should be or could be. And, on the Str8 Rippin side, they're definitely struggling with strongholds right now.
Yeah,
and
strongholds and objective efficiency
for them.
For sure.
And CTF completely different in terms of the objective efficiency, but definitely on the strongholds.
I agree.
Some work to be made there, whether it's beginning strategies or just not coming out hot enough. They need to make sure that they fix that.
All right, well, let's kick it off with Musa, one of these kind of newer faces here on this Era roster. See what he does on the Rocket side. Looks like he's going to be fighting with the Knock side over on this side, but wisely decides to look over towards Snipe, try to get some cross-map fire. Commonly is going to pick off Musa, and that's going to be the opening for Str8 Rippin to make their push.
Getting control of the weapons, a huge key to the victory here in Coliseum CTF, but while it looks good for Str8 Rippin, it's not looking good now as Commonly the last guy alive. Rocket's still on the map, he's currently baiting them, but not at the best angle possible. It needs to get up high a little bit more. Not able to, though, with the current positioning of everybody on the map for Era. You can see one player on the player outline. So he's going to drop, another player going to grab the rockets. That's going to be Kratos. So Kratos going to make a move on over towards the Str8 Rippin base, or is he going to back off? Looks like he's going to back off, and it looks like Commonly doing the same thing. So a little bit of cat and mouse game going on with the 2 players with the weapons. Eventually, you're going to see Era rotate on over towards the Snipe side. You see 3 players over there. Commonly still in the back of the base. They're going to have to try to find some angles to get some information on where all of these players from there are at.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised there too. It seemed like a bit of miscommunication there from Str8 side, or both of them kind of prioritizing that back of the base when they're in the defensive mode. But it's one of those things where it's like, push out, let, you know, Ace should get away from Commonly, let Commonly sit the furthest back, try to get some sort of snipe kill. And obviously, whatever they did right there worked out for Str8 Rippin as they take out 3 members of Era and now have control of the center of the map.
And the knock side going to find the 4th one. That's going to drop Str8. Another player inside of the cave. Another player is located inside of the flag right now for Era. Neptune finding a kill on Baby J. That's a good sign there for Era to slow things down just a little bit. Commonly, he's going to find a nice little no-scope as Ace comes in with the cleanup. The knock side has the rockets as well. Commonly, he's going to have the angles as the flag is being pulled. Great execution here for Str8, but you got to hit these shots right now. Neptune should be a fairly easy kill, and he is. Ace going to drop that one. Now the big focal point for Era needs to be getting Commonly out of the cave, and that's exactly where Str8's mind is at, so good job by him. But first flag capture going to go on over to Str8 about 2 minutes into this game.
Yep. And one big blunder there from Str8 too, as he dives the sniper.
Fumbled by Str8 Rippin, that caused Str8 to get aggressive and think that he could stop and get the return.
Yeah, I think we've seen that kind of a couple times before. And it's quite odd because you think of a player of like his level, he's going to realize like, all right, that flag's so far gone, unless one of my teammates got some sort of grenade / last second stop.
One of your teammates is screaming, they're choking.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you start choking. And then I start choking. And then the whole broadcast ends.
Well, right there, yeah, we did see someone trying to capitalize on what seemingly was a mistake, and yeah, in the end, giving up that sniper. And you gotta wonder how this would be different if Str8 had just stayed alive, been over on snipe side of the map with a a full clip of snipe. Right now,
was it a mistake or was it bait?
I think it was a bait. It was a bait.
There's no way.
No, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard in Halo history someone be like, don't run in as fast. Like, we've done like some cocky things like the victory lap or something like that, but it's never been like run it in deliberately slower, because we've all been in those situations in Halo before where it's like, wait, how did we not get that cap? Like, you take the caps when you can get them.
Pretty sure it was a narrow CTF game where it was the Neighbor Legit Illimite team, and we had a flag going in on narrows, and the celebration had already started before the flag went in, and it created some of the most epic pictures and faces that you've ever seen. Never want to have that happen. We've seen it so often, especially in Halo 5. I mean, it kind of comes to mind in that epic Fathom CTF that Str8 was a part of when he was on Optic Gaming, and they got that kill on the players that were pushing that flag inside of the window.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the Spartan charge came out, and I think that was Optic like versus Denial.
Maniac or Cloud or something like that.
It was on to Cloud, and Maniac and Str8 were the players that ended up flushing it there.
Also even reminds me kind of like of Worlds when Optic was here on Coliseum Flag, and remember how it was just like, that flag was so close to, or maybe it wasn't Worlds, I think it may have been Atlanta, where there was multiple times where Splice were about to cap that last flag on Coliseum. It's like, Optic somehow gets the pull, Optic somehow gets in the base, gets the stop, gets the pull again, like lasted for like this 3-minute overtime, not even overtime, but like this 3-minute drawn out situation from what should have been a guaranteed capture, a quick capture.
Looks like this flag is going in. Commonly needed to give that one up, but you do have Ace coming in with the flank. I think Ace is in position to go and get a kill, but not going to be able to land it, as it looks like Str8 coming in with the help. Baby J, he finds a kill, but this is just Str8 Rippin trying to maintain map control after that flag capture went in. And it was one heck of a flag capture because Str8 Rippin was on the verge of pulling a flag over towards the snipe side. So great job. And what could have been a maybe 2-0 lead for Str8 Rippin ends up being a tied up game 1-1. And such a big game here, Dave. I mean, anyone that goes up in this series is going to be feeling good. One game isn't going to determine the entire thing. It's obviously 4, but in a game type like this, in a CTF Coliseum, where again it's one of those game types where it's just super competitive. I mean, I look at these Strongholds game types, and nothing against Strongholds, but you can lose and win those very easily, in my opinion.
Yeah,
this is a much
you get
more
punished,
grinded out game type.
Yep, you get punished much more severely in something like Strongholds. As soon as the first 3 Strongholds are captured at one point, the game's on a ticking time bomb. It is guaranteed to end within so many minutes because of the design of the game mode, which is good and bad. You passively get so many points and get punished for mistakes, seconds later. Whereas here on something like CTF, it's you could do the first 9 steps correct, but you mess up that last step and don't get the cap, you don't get the point.
Crazy situation here is this flag is down, and Str8 currently baiting it, but it's bait for themselves too, because they don't want to go there and cough this one up. You can see everybody is dying left and right. Kratos coming in there, jumping in with one of his teammates for the return. So looks like that flag was the death flag. Nobody.
Yeah, not a lucky flag to pull. Like if I was in Comley's shoes and I just saw someone get blown up, like, yeah, flag's gone, boys. We're moving on. I'm getting control top snipe.
Right? Screw that. Not messing up my stats. Flag being pulled. A good run here from Musa, but Ace somehow, magically, with the DMR, shutting it down. Now, 2 members from Era are going to drop. A couple of players getting their shields back. Str8 able to regain his as he pushed on over towards the snipe side. But it doesn't look like that flag was continued to be pulled. Double kill coming in from Str8. He's starting to warm up just a little bit.
Such good shots.
In front of him. Perfect shots, actually, Dave, onto the knock side. And continuing to add more damage, this time onto his teammate, unfortunately, as this flag is being pulled. Commonly the last line of defense here for Str8 Rippin. This is very far. Wingman metal going on over to Str8. This flag should be going in for Era, as no one from Str8 Rippin in position, and Str8 Rippin just needs to give this up, get control, and get Str8 out of that elbow.
Yeah, Str8 is just not missing right now. It's going to take a couple players to take him down, so I like this rotation. Right now, I'm sure they're still calling out that Str8 over near Red Rocket Elbow or Rocket Elbow. And right now, they have no idea where he's at. And so, like, those sort of rotations, not only do you just get a kill commonly, but you can almost assume that there's one player from Str8 Rippin still back at their own base looking for him. And that might have been Ace as we see him sprinting around this corner. Like
Ace is like, oh, there he is. All right, all right, we good. Str8 last guy alive. Looks like he just came off of the spawn, as he was the one that eventually got dropped. And he's doing a great job staying alive over towards this cave. Excuse me. That grenade is going to give up his position, though, so Ace is aware of this.
Yeah, Ace is aware, but also he has some help here from Baby J. This is always a tough pinch to make, though. Cave can be one of the easiest kills to get, or it can be a little death trap as you get shot from players at the flag. So Baby J in a little bit of a ring around the rosy situation here over at the cave, but decides just to opt out of that little race and toss that flag towards bomb center.
That's a very sketchy place to go for the return right now if you're Str8, but it's a very, very interesting flag run if you are Era. You want to try to get this one and try to put that last and final flag capture in, but while all this is happening, Denoxide, he wants to go in and try to put this flag in, realizing that, oh wait, Baby J has the rockets and finds a double kill. There goes the flag, and they're in position to run another one right now. Baby J currently has the rockets over towards the elbow, flag being pulled. They do spawn up over towards the cave side. I like this positioning coming in from Denoxide, laying down shots over towards the street, not realizing that that player has ground pounded back though, so he's continually just trying to cut off the angle. Kratos takes the left side, appears on the radar, ground pound coming in. Huge kill right there if he could find it, and the back smack doesn't land, so Kratos still alive over here. The Denoxide going to try to relay this one. Tosses it up over towards the window.
Oh.
No, he doesn't toss it out. He auto-stabilizes. Can he hit the thrust? Denoxide just put the flag in already. There it is.
What a crazy run, too. Like, I would not have thought to try to run that flag through the front way, especially after seeing your teammate die in that yard out in front of the bridge. It's like, all right, my teammate just got shot in the back over in the front of our base. Do you think I'm going to be okay to jump up from the front like Denoxide did? And I guess he just didn't hesitate, just went for it. So
that's the key. Just can't hesitate.
No hesitation.
He got the 12-12-12 deal as well. That's always nice. But look at commonly, look at Ace dropping some bombs. 26, 12, and 18 for Ace. 20, 11, and 14. Str8 Rippin with the outslays again, and they go up in this series 2-1. Very impressive turn of events. I mean, you look at how it was going, 2-1 in favor of Era. All of a sudden, Baby J with the rockets flying in, double kill. The return flying in as well. Denoxide with the crazy run. And then that's all she wrote in game number 3. Game number 4 on your screen right there. Empire Strongholds. Game number 5 is going to be Rig Slayer. If we go to game number 6 and 7, you can see those as well. Truth, CTF, and then Regret Slayer.
Yeah, one thing I also we got to give credit to Baby J and the Str8 Rippin squad for pulling that one together, getting that kind of double cap at the end. However, you also got to wonder, did Era make a mistake by trying to kind of force this cap? Like, that was not a run where they had 3 or 4 members of Str8 Rippin down and then they pulled it. Like, that was kind of a forceful run. It's kind of a move that you do when you're already down or you're in an even situation and you haven't had enough luck getting the slays. So it kind of felt pretty forced from Era when, in fact, they didn't really have to force anything. They could just went for slays and slow it down.
And we talk about it so many times where the team gets in a flag standoff and the team that wins the flag standoff will turn that into a double cap. And while it was a very sloppy double cap and a very desperate double cap coming in from Str8 Rippin, ended up working out. And I think you hit the nail right on the head. In a situation like that, you don't have to get desperate. You don't have to go in for that last and final flagpole. But at the same time, I think it was Musa who went and pulled that flag. At the time, it seemed like a really great idea. And that's one of the hardest things in this game is just realizing that you got to bail on a good idea at one point and then just kind of mitigate your losses. And unfortunately, Era not able to do that, and now they're down in the series.
That's a really good point because it's never inherently bad to pull the flag, but committing to a flag in certain situations is the true problem, where it's okay to throw it out and try bait members of Str8 Rippin or put yourself in a situation where if you do get the slays, you can end up with that third and final cap. But yeah, it just felt right there a bit unorganized from the Era squad. It felt a little forced because you saw this whole fumble through the center of the map, like both flags kind of crossing through the center at one point, straight throwing theirs out, Era trying to bring it back through Fountainside or wherever it happened to be. And yeah, clearly Era faltered in that main engagement because as well as
big game coming up here, Dave, for both of these squads. If Era wins this one, they tie the series up 2-2 and push this into a virtually best of 3. If Str8 Rippin wins, they go up in a very demanding series score, 3-1, kicking this one off with Baby J.
Yeah, Baby J was the hero of the last game, getting that huge double kill. I think it was with Rockets to help get that first flag recovery, and then they eventually turned that into kind of a double cap eventually. But this overshield's still staying up. I think Ace is going to try to get some sort of burn, and that is not going to be a burn because that is going straight in the hands of Kratos. So let's see what he decides to do with this overshield. I'd like to see him acquire pit.
Yeah, it looks like they're already a step ahead of you, Dave. They're in that pit right now without the overshield. Oh, Commonly. I don't know if that was the camo player.
It was.
Great play coming in from Commonly, canceling out that overshield. But it's important to note that you do have a pit that went on over towards the Era. So straight stick with that stick right there is pretty much going to cancel out the play that Commonly made. And the rest of the guys on the team from Era really stepping it up right there by capturing that very important stronghold.
Yeah, great job at Denox there, too. There must be a little background drama we don't know about between Denoxide and Musa, because I see those two shooting each other's bodies all the entire time.
Former lovers.
Former lovers, yeah. I mean, on one hand, I love keeping up with the Halo stuff. At the same time, too, I don't keep up with all the Halo drama. I don't understand what's going on with every one of these gamers' lives, but...
You never know when someone's actually doing the body disrespect, if it's like a friendly body disrespect,
that's
or
true.
if it's like, you know, an extremely... Because the way that Denoxide plays, you never know. I mean, the guy's just completely wild. You saw it from that final flag grab that he had right there. But I'm guessing that it's nothing too...
Such good movement right there. Movement. Oh, my God.
I'm guessing it's a friendly thing because it seems like Musa, from the times that I've hung out with him, seems to be a pretty cool guy. Denoxide, pretty cool guy as well. Yeah. It's all fun and games here.
Yep, these guys, like I said, they're also in a heated moment as well. Like I said, when you win some of those individual fights, like that was really a huge fight too. When he clambers up through a window and wins the fight without mailing.
Everywhere.
Yep, just gamer rage.
Can't control it. All right, here we go. Big time in the game right now. As camo and overshield is going to be popping up, and it's tough, you know, to choose between the two. But it's interesting to see which teams value which, and it varies as well. Some guys will say, oh, I want the overshield because you can help secure the strongholds, or I want the camouflage because I can back-whack the overshield guy. And I'm like, well, if I'm overshield, I can back-whack the camo guy too. You know, it doesn't really...
Yeah, with this level of play as well, it's fairly uncommon to see like Camo completely slipping by and getting back smacks. Sure, Camo's going to get some sort of first shot in most other players and get that sort of help, but you know, the thing we saw from Commonly back smacking Kratos, I think, is fairly uncommon when you have those two power-ups going head-to-head.
Some good team shooting happening outside for Str8 Rippin, but I really like how Straight Sick throughout all of that was staying alive. So here's the big time in the game again, where you have this unstaggered spawns coming out from Era. It's a fresh 4 coming out, and now they're starting to make their push. And we saw a trade of kills coming in for both teams right now. It's going to be a trade coming in for Straight. It's going to be a trade coming in for Era. But if you have control of the pit, if you have control of the side bases, that's literally all you have to do. And the team that has control, they're just not trying to make any mistakes. And that's the key right here is waiting for the next round of power-ups either if you're Era, or coming in there and making one push, but you don't want to go and make your push right when the power-ups are coming up and die and give full control on over to Str8. Otherwise, you are not putting yourself in a good position to win.
Yeah, and right there, just giving up a couple free deaths. One of the tough things about Strongholds is, especially here on Rig, is you kind of need, or not Rig, sorry, Empire, you need numbers in order to take over Pit. And in a situation where it's like a 2-on-2, you can't comfortably take over Pit. There's going to be reinforcements coming in too quickly. Even numbers like that, they're going to be able to just trade with you and still keep control of 2 of the strongholds. So you have to somehow pick off a couple kills, stay alive, and then do that massive collapse to get control of Pit.
Interesting to see how Commonly's playing this one. Everybody kind of with their own play style here, and it seems like Commonly is a support anchor role right now, where he's making sure no one's going and charging towards the side base, which they currently have captured. He's also supporting over towards security side and then going and rotating out towards the overshield as well. But overshield does go on over to, I believe, Neptune. So here we go for Era. Era with the opportunity now to make some big things happen, but there are melees happening left and right. It looks like Commonly wants the ninja. He's not able to find it, but he does rip Neptune's overshield off, and that's going to be 3 dead. Musa, he's the last guy alive. Str8 Rippin pushing on over towards the side base, and they're looking good as they trade both side bases. Triple cap not in effect, but here's the key is now you got to spread out. Don't dilly-dally around too much. Don't be looking around, wasting time. Find out where these players are going. Don't let them advance for free. Lay down some shots, but also keep as much as your shields as possible.
Yeah, so Str8 Rippin just doing that great, though. Like, getting that trade of bases, as we talked about before, how it's best case, worst case scenario. You should always just trade bases, because worst case, you're not going to end up giving the opposing team 2 strongholds under any circumstance.
There it is, finally, Era able to retake control, and they do it in a pretty dominating fashion because they're able to pick up 3 kills throughout all of that. That's the last guy alive right there, Baby J, sprinting around, miraculously alive throughout all of this. Does get hit with the green gun, so that trade most likely going to come in, but no, the Spartan charge doesn't connect. Commonly gets ripped apart with that green gun, and you can see Baby J still alive throughout all of that, getting the beatdown onto Neptune. But you have to be careful here if you're Str8. You do not want to get triple capped on. The triple cap will rack up so many points so fast, and that's what they're already pushing for right now on the side of Era. They find it, Dave. They push over towards the side base, get that triple cap, and now Str8 Rippin trapped inside of security. They need to get over towards the side base because we saw this happen when they were playing against Check 6, and it was not good.
Yeah, they can't let the strip cap going for so long. And here we do see Str8 finally trying to get control of red base, but there's no one even in the stronghold at the moment, so this trip cap is still just ticking up.
So good job by Commonly right there. And you know, this is what I was interested in to see. Do they go and they push for the side base and stop the bleeding, or are they going to go and make a push on over towards the overshield here? Instead of going for the predictable side base, what they did was they went and they go for the unpredictable side base over towards the opposite side. So typically what happens here is the spawns become so predictable because people pop up on the platform over towards the side base, and the map's so small that you can eliminate through process of elimination what's going on. They just rotate it around and pick the opposite side, but while all this is happening, you still are seeing camouflage and overshield in the hands of Era, and that's scary if you're Str8 Rippin because, again, you had this huge lead that immediately got taken down.
Yeah, and huge reversal there, too, from Kratos on Baby J as he gets that ground pound. I was going to say it's going to keep trip cap into effect, but it never actually fully happened right there. For some reason, I thought Kratos was about to get it, but clearly he had pushed on out, trying to put a bit more pressure on players near red base.
It's interesting to see how Era really wants to push this. I mean, they are getting so aggressive over here, and it's crazy to see that Str8 Rippin doesn't want to respond by going on over towards the pit. Instead, they're sending so many players over here towards the side base to make sure that they are getting that reset and avoiding that triple cap. Now, while all that pressure has happened, 2 kills going over to Str8 Rippin. Make that the 3rd kill. Huge kill over there towards the pit. Musa, the last guy alive. They're going to have to spawn the spawns right now if you're Commonly, and commonly aware of where these guys are coming in, and huge retake of the pit there from Str8 Rippin.
Yeah, that's absolutely what they needed. They were struggling for so long. First off, it took them a good 20 or 30 seconds to get control of a side base. I do agree that was a pretty unique play and worked out all right for Str8 Rippin when they faked at red, went over to blue, but it still just took them so much longer to actually get control of 2 strongholds, to either convert pit or to get one of the side bases. So eventually getting pit, which is their ideal goal, but they also got to be careful in the situation with the knockside down. It's a 3-on-4 situation. Commonly's stick is going to help turn that back around in Str8 Rippin's favor.
Got to get into the pit, got to get this reset. That's the last guy live right there, and then it happens. Ace flying in there with the double kill. While this is happening, you have Str8 fairly weak over here, over towards the security side. You do have Overshield currently on the map too. Camo should be popping up any second. Big kill coming up over towards the side base. Reset happening. Now you have another side base being captured. That Era is going to have to go and contest, but now you see Denoxide pick up another kill. Str8 outside. Big fight against Baby J. Not able to connect, but Ace is there with the cleanup. Now pit is up, or Overshield is up. Pit is still there for the taking. Side base here needs to be taken by Era, or they need to rotate out of there towards the pit, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Now Ace just needs to go and contest with his body inside of any one of these strongholds. It looks like he's going to elect to go down towards the pit. There's the reset. Str8 Rippin winning a huge game. They go up in this series 3-1. One more, and they are Legendary Cup number 4 champs.
And that was looking scary for a moment, though, for Str8 Rippin. They were up something like 75-30, and then eventually
it was 77 to like 75.
Yeah, and then they let Era tie it up, bring it back to even, but Str8 Rippin, luckily, unfortunately, got back together. They did not seem to panic as much as they did last time. They didn't cut the bleeding as fast as I would have liked to seen, but they clearly had a plan together. Like we talked about before, they went over towards red base, got a little bit of capture on it, and then it's all rotated towards outside, which is a pretty brilliant plan because they could catch players off guard, possibly get a kill out there, and then clearly get blue base, which is unexpected.
It's really nice and refreshing to see adjustments being made by, you know, any team at all, really. But Str8 Rippin there applying what they learned in the previous series, not the previous series, but the previous matchup, sorry, that they had against Czech 6, where Czech 6 got that triple cap, and Str8 Rippin was doing the predictable thing, doing what you kind of do by the book, right? You come off spawn, you're on the impression that if I have a teammate here that spawns with me, I'm in a triple cap, I'll go and capture the side base. But guess what? You're in a 4-on-2 scenario with 3 players charging at you, and you're stuck in this little confined area that shows exactly when you're in or out of it. So it's pretty tough to be in that spot, and a solid team is going to go and punish you for that situation. Now, again, you run a huge risk by not going into one of these strongholds and not stopping the bleeding immediately. But then again, if you're constantly being rotated off spawn, the bleeding is never ever going to stop. So just a very small, minor change right there ended up paying off pretty big dividends. Of course, you got to go and execute, and they went and did that overall. But I think one of the other big keys to victory there for Empire Strongholds was you saw how well executed well, it wasn't as good as they would have want, but Era had a good job of waiting for everyone to come back alive on their team before they pushed. And one of the keys was that Str8 Rippin wasn't giving up free deaths to start. It was always a trade to start, or I take a guy down to no shields and he takes me down to no shields, but I don't die. Anytime that you saw the first member from Str8 Rippin in a 4-on-4 scenario die when they had a setup, that's when Era easily actually went back and retook the setup. So I think that was the big key to victory for them, was just not giving up any of those deaths when it was an even number situation.
Yeah, and that's like many situations we've seen both these teams kind of falter in there, whether it's, I think Conley and Kratos are the 2 easiest ones to call out because they're such aggressive players, but there's plenty of times where they have that sort of setup like you talked about before and give up that death, and making that mistake is so crucial because it gives that opposing team a 4-on-3 opening that they didn't even have to really work for. It's just an aggressive mistake that created the door open for them.
All right, guys, is this the last game of the Legendary
Hopefully
Cup?
not.
Number 4, or is Era going to keep pushing it to the limit? It's 3-1 right now, so that means Str8 Rippin's 1 game away. Era needs 3 more. Scatter shot over towards the barrels. Camouflage, it's in the middle. You can see that battle rifle back where the carbine used to spawn, and the sniper rifle back where the plasma caster used to be. And we're kicking this one off with the guy who, in my opinion, has been the MVP for Str8 today. It's Common.
Yeah, not only MVP for Str8, maybe MVP of this Legendary Cup, as he has been just putting up massive numbers and then also doing it in a fashion where it's really tough. Kratos actually ground pounding away the camos. That one gets knocked off the map. I think we kind of ran that situation last time.
Wait, so
I forgot what conclusion we came to.
Yes, we need to get clarification, and someone maybe even tweet at me and let me know. When the camouflage gets ground pounded, it'll be really important to know going into Denver. When it gets ground pounded like that, what is the timer reset on that camouflage? Is it similar to when someone picks it up, but yet it counts as when it's picked up as when it falls to the very bottom of the map? Or is it like once it actually initially is ground pounded? Because that's the difference between 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah,
It's
easily.
huge.
You're not sure if it's a something where the camo has to hit the kill volume, and that counts the same as consumption and resets the 2-minute timer. But yeah, I'd love to know the exact answer to that because I've not sat down and done that science experiment yet.
Fake answers either. I want coaches, real coaches with answers. Interesting part in the map right here where Ace is at, because he's in pretty much the most powerful area based on the positioning of all the rest of the members for Era. So you could see he's kind of the, I guess, point guard right here, or the quarterback, I guess you could say, because he's kind of just filtering in, determining where exactly he wants to go and help or go in and assist and lay down that damage. And interestingly enough, the guy that was laying down all the support gets rewarded with the best weapon here in the game, picking up that sniper rifle. 13-4 lead here for Str8 Rippin, and a very aggressive game. It doesn't seem like this is one to slow down and set up and, you know, methodically pick people apart. This is kind of a let's charge right at him game.
Yeah, and one thing I'm just seeing in the kill feeds, I saw commonly with another double kill with the battle rifle. So despite Ace having the power weapon, it's commonly who keeps racking up kills on the board. When we get a chance, I'll switch on over to this screen, but there we go. Once again, we see Commonly getting picked off first in a setup situation. I've always said, like, it's not inherently bad. Like, clearly it's bad when you get picked off, but it's his play style. It's one of those things that it goes great when he's picking off kills and things are going well, but it can also be sometimes that entry kill that could give the opening for someone like Era to break through this setup.
What a great job from Ace right there to utilize his pistol instead of going for the no-scope, which a lot of players have been doing, and that's going to be 3 dead. Make that 4 dead as Neptune now going to come off of the respawn, but the thought process to go and realize how important that kill is top tower, and props to that player for making his way over towards top tower. I believe it was Neptune, because that is such a powerful position. Nice shot right there from Ace as he lands another no-scope right there onto Str8. Yeah, he's getting popped from the side, so he's going to try to get his shields back and maybe try to find out where Str8 exactly was located. But there's the no-scope flying in. Melee going to land as well. Killing spree going on over to Ace. 23-9. Str8 Rippin looking extremely strong. But one of the things that you're seeing is a great job of prioritizing, and there's prioritizing on many different levels. Prioritizing on where to look with the sniper rifle, prioritize on where to help people, prioritizing on where to position as well. Just kind of prioritizing where you want all of your, I guess, focus to be. And you never want your focus to ever just be in one spot. You always want your focus to be something that can constantly shift and change to whatever your team really needs it to be. And I feel like that's one of the things that Str8 is doing really well this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It just feels like they get a player who's weak and they know how to collapse in and get that finish. They know where they're backing up just from the very beginning. Ace knowing how to support his teammates, knowing that he can help them out on catwalk from Whitehall, like when he was acting kind of as that point guard like you pointed out before. Just great communication and working together there from Str8 Rippin.
And this is key. Whenever you have a sniper rifle in hand and the map slows down, you got to go on some sort of a spree with it. Commonly finding the opening kill onto Neptune, as you said, Dave. He's usually the guy to either get the kill or be killed in that type of scenario. And now the map's starting to really open up. But for who is it in favor for? The no-scope flying in. Ace finding the double kill. More no-scopes from Baby J, and a fantastic, smooth, silky thrust.
The Legendary Cup number 3 and Legendary Cup number 4, back-to-back online gaming champions.
Don't forget about Legendary Cup number 1 as well. Could have been the 4-time, but instead it's looking like the 2-time. Musa, he's going to drop to Baby J. Nice shots right there. No scopes flying in left and right. I mean, I know his controller is broken, but I didn't know that his zoom button was broken, okay? I thought it was the jump or the bumper or something like that. But it is. He can't zoom in.
Oh, that's for real?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, God, because it really was sounding for a moment. I was like, man, based on all these shots he's taken, like, I don't think I have seen him zoom in.
No.
That's like the strong side prank he'd pull on me back in the day, like, or he would just make fake gamer tags, and then he would go through.
Big breakfast?
Yeah, big breakfast, or like gaming on Halo 2 when you had proximity voice, he'd like say his zoom button is broken and stuff like that as he's just sniping people all the way across the map.
Yeah. Oh, no, and I think it was Halo Reach when the team was Ninja, McWin, Side, and myself. I'm pretty sure we had just a full day where Side and I went and just talked trash in different voices. And Side's got a lot of different voices, in case you guys didn't know. He's a man of many different impersonations. So. Never
trust Strong Side. He seems like a nice little guy, but dude, he
does seem like a nice guy. But
he's a trickster, man. He is the definition of a troll.
Exactly. Never fall asleep first at a land with Strong Side. Oh, look out. Oh, Baby J coming in with the damage onto Kratos. Ballsy play coming in from Kratos. Is that a triple kill? It is. Looking for the overkill. Can he find the clip? Who's hiding around the corner? Oh, no. Ace taking that kill onto Musa. Neptune trying to keep these guys into it, but it's 5 more kills, and that's all she wrote. As Era heavily on the ropes right now after Str8 Rippin is strung together so many wins in a row. It's been fairly impressive to see. Musa finding in 2 more. Neptune finding another. It seems like a little bit too late, though, coming in for Era, unless we see something absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it was just more of stake denial, I think, with Neptune's and crew getting those last few kills. This one's pretty out of reach. I really don't foresee any possible way for Era to come back in this game.
Looks like 3 kills, and that's going to be it. As Ace charging in there, he's going to get 1 kill. Commonly finding another, 1 more kill, 49-32. Is that going to be it? And it is. Baby J putting the nail into the Era coffin. Str8 Rippin, they are your Legendary Cup #4 champions. They did it in pretty interesting fashion, coming all the way down from the elimination bracket after earlier losing to Era. They come back and they win 4-1, 4-1.
And taking a look at these final stats here, Baby J going off in this final game, 16, 6, and 5, going positive 11 when they needed it.
Very impressive stat line, especially in a big closing out game like that. But we were talking about it before, and we got to give our MVP of the entire Legendary Cup #4 to Comley for just a fantastic, fantastic overall performance. But Baby J coming right up in there with some very clutch plays as well. Everybody from Str8 Rippin coming out with a very solid performance. Era, check 6. What was the other team? RB.
Yeah.
Very solid as well. Looking bright going into Denver. Definitely the teams that we're watching today going to be a little bit scared if they're going to be facing off against those guys in the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, Str8 Rippin, they clearly have some flaws in their game that they can and need to fix, but overall, they're going to be a very scary team going in